Hello, and yes, indeed, welcome to another Whiskey Review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Thank you for joining me for review number 189. It is the second part of a series of which I'm looking at some blends, inexpensive blends. And it was sort of originally, this series was just going to be blended scotches. But then this one slipped in a blended malt, and it wasn't really my intention to do so, but it's just in there. It's a blended malt, but it's still an inexpensive blended malt. I'll say it for the same as I'm going to say about every whiskey in this series. Yes, it's inexpensive. It's inexpensive to me. Might not be inexpensive to you. You might not even be able to get your hands on it. But, you know, this is the Shackleton. There, that's what it is. And it comes in usually around the £20 mark for us, 20 to £25. It is sort of supermarket fodder. And so it's crept its way into this series. So there you go. Shackleton, named after Ernest Shackleton, the explorer in the early 20th century. There was he'd taken, whenever he was his failed expedition to the South Pole, at a later date they found bottles of whiskey preserved down there in the Antarctic, and Richard Patterson at White and Mackay. So this is White and Mackay. Tried to recreate that. Yada yada yada. This isn't that recreation, but it's a later version of it. It's the version now, which is it's just this affordable, as I said, supermarket version that they do of this blend. And as I said, is a blended malt, White and Mackay. So who are we looking at? We're looking at Dalmore. Let's see, White Mackay, Dalmore, Fetter Cairn, Jura, and the Fulham. I think that's the four White and Mackay distilleries. So you're looking at probably a blend of those four, some combination of those four. There. A couple of things about it. Anybody that has this, maybe it's just me, but please comment if you've got this bottle and tell me what the hell sort of heavy ass glass they've made this out of, because I don't get why this bottle's so damn heavy. It's nothing to do with the spirit that's in it, but it's just weirdly heavy. The glass is really heavy. I also don't like the fact that the glass is just ever so slightly tinted blue. It makes the whiskey look a horrible colour in the bottle, I think. I generally don't comment on the colour of whiskey because to me it matters not. In this case, you know, golden amber and straw and this and that. Pardon my French, if you please will. But if there was ever a whiskey that looked more like the colour of old man's piss, it's this. I'm sorry, but it was a mistake on their behalf. It's not so bad when you get it out of the bottle, but it's that blue hue on it and then that colour inside it. Anyway, 40% colour added, chill filtered. Here we go. Do you know, it comes in with a nice, youthful, fruity, I use the word quite a bit, estery, so you're maybe into the heads, you know. No, that's what it comes in with. I know that I always love that youthful esteriness. Licorice, blackcurrant. There is a herbal note, and I'm going to put it down to rosemary. Butter and brown sugar. There's also a fruity note, which I didn't actually get before. There is actually a nice, sharp, perfumey, fruity note. And it is perfumey. Yeah. Maybe as I go along, I'll be able to nail that one down. But that's the first I've actually got this note on it. There's slight hints of praline. And it's muted but sweet malt. And that weird, that sweet malt's there, but it's hidden, I say muted, it's just underneath whatever that sharp, perfumey, fruity note is. It's a light, sweet and sour arrival. not a bad mouthfeel. There's enough grip, there's enough sharpness going on to make it fairly interesting. Coats in the right places, and those creamy, youthful estery notes are in the palate as well. The licorice returns too. Did I mention barley sugar in the nose? Because that comes through also. Not really a whole lot else. And as I said in my last review, it runs off into a fairly short, uneventful finish. Maybe I didn't. It's more like it's lime. Once again, like lime or chili lime, citrus. Anyway, it's quite clean, but just a bit uneventful. I said in my last review that I'm not going to add water in this. I can't see me adding water in this series. I'm not going to add water to this either. I did so in my when I was doing my taste notes. Didn't do anything for it at all. Just made it thinner. And I have a bit of an issue with this. And it falls firmly in the lap of White Mackay. So it's perfectly simple. This does, for me, pretty much what every White Mackay product does. That it's all right for a while. It's not bad. But it's bizarre how they're, whatever it is about their product, whatever it is about their whiskey, how they can make it do this. Where after a while, it just starts to lose everything except an unnatural sweetness. It's hard to explain. I reviewed, and I'll actually throw a link up here if I remember, for the Dalmore 12-year-old not so long ago. And I said about it having this, it became sweet in mid-palate and just had this weird sweetness in the mid-palate hung around. And this does the same. And Jura does the same. And Fetter Cairn in the entry-level Fetter Cairns do the same. Tamnaville, and I haven't actually spent an awful lot of time with. I have had it, but I can't remember what it was like. But it's weird how it just does this mid-palate, and as I said, artificial sweetness or something. And everything else just starts to become thin and wasted. Look, 20 quid. At 20 quid, it'll do. It will do. It's White Mackay. They're known for those blends. They're also known for Dalmore, one of the most expensive whiskies I'm going to suggest on the Scotch market, because it's growing that almost Macallan-like feverish heat around it, where for some bloody reason, which I'll never understand, people like it. This here, as I said, at 20 quid, okay. It'll do at a party in the background as a sipper. But once again, I'm not going to replace it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Would I give it to guests? Only if I don't like them. Once again, the nose comes back. The nose does come back, and that nose is fresh and clean, and the youthfulness of it seems to start to disappear a bit, and it becomes more about brighter fruit. And it's not that bad. I credit this. I credit most blends that when that nose starts to come back again, they generally are fine. They're grand. But at the same time, it's all right having a great nose, but if the palate and finish can't back that up, and this has just become now sweetness and heat, there's just a dry heat off that as well. So look, now I'm not going to replace that. No. Not even for 20 quid. But either way, buy it, try it. You're not going to waste too much money on it. That's the one thing about this series. You'll never burn too much money. It's a curiosity thing. Buy it, give it a shot. Worst case scenario, you don't like it, share it with your friends, share it with your guests, pour it down the sink, whatever, but you haven't wasted a lot of money. There. Right then, so then Shackleton is what it is. So what would I recommend to you as an alternative? Well, I had a bit of a rummage around in my cabinets, as I always do. And I tried this, I tried that, and then I came across a bottle which I forgot I even had. And this might seem a bit strange, because it might not... Anyway, here we go. Glenfiddich IPA edition. Why this one? Well, I did. As I said, I tried this, I tried that. I could have recommended to you Jura, I could have recommended Dalmore or something. But I don't know why. I don't know why my hand landed on this. And I did what I always do. I pulled the cork on it, and a little drop just to touch my lips, just to wet my palate. And I went, I don't know what it is. Is it the grapefruit in the IPA? Because IPA tends to bring for me, fresh with hops and freshness and grapefruit and things like that there. Is it that's doing it in the cask? I don't know, but there was just something about the Glenfiddich IPA that it was what was good. Anything that was good about the Shackleton, I actually found in the Glenfiddich IPA. So I'm not saving you any money here, because unfortunately the Glenfiddich IPA, if it's still available, which I'm not sure whether it is or not, I'm taking it is probably more than twice the price of the Shackleton, in fairness. But if you bought Shackleton and you liked it and you want to widen your horizons, why not just if you see it about Glenfiddich IPA, give it a shot, see what you think. This keeps coming back, and it's always about that greenness. There's something about freshness or something, or apple or lime, and I said about youthful esters earlier on, and they're still there. But when the palate just doesn't back it up, then what's the point? Anyway, there you go. That's the Shackleton. I'll leave it at that. Say thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much to my patrons. Should you wish to join that group, the details are in the video description below, and I will leave a little link up here. Anybody who wishes to know anything more about my patronage. Till the next time, my friends, look after yourselves, look after each other. Here's your good health. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.